Hello, I've come today. Yes, today is supposed to be day 7 of the nationwide protest. But interestingly, I can't see any sign that shows that the protest, is still continuing all over the nation. You know, I did broadcast, but I later deleted them because I said, or if the protest this raising of Russian flags and calling for coup, you know, they were like they poured sand inside our garri. But that is a different narrative entirely. The protest is like in a comatose now. We don't even know whether there is still ongoing protest, but we are still doing the countdown. One thing is certain so far, government has not done anything since the protest started. That is sacrosanct. That is not debatable. Yes, there were gestures to prevent the protest, you know, but since the protest started, government has done nothing. We are not arguing that. That is agreeable by everybody. However, let's talk about this issue of raising Russian flag, which to me is condemnable, is a treasonable felony, and calling for coup. But as much as we condemn the act, something is also very important we must mention. What has brought us to this level as a nation? We had 8 years of a northerner in office. We called him different kind of name under this same administration of APC. We called him different kind of name. He's parochial, he's this, he's that. But the level of poverty and deprivation in the north actually multiplied during his tenure. Before him, we had Goodluck Jonathan, and he had this special program for the Almajiris, and he started these Almajiri schools. It was a special intervention for literacy for the out of school children in the north, that they will gradually mob them up the streets and give them basic education. What has happened to such programs? If you compare what happened in the north, the way the protest went in the north and how it went in the southwest, you see that those who championed the protest and those who really went out on protest in the southwest are well enlightened. They were not having tribal or regional agenda. They were well enlightened. I tell my friends that what happened in north, can somebody call a southerner and give him Russian flag because you are protesting for hardship and hunger in the land? He will tell you that how is that flag going to solve his problem? He won't take it from you. But you see the kind of children, teenagers they handed flags to, those ones don't know better. Imagine those who were forcefully destroying covert because they were going to remove the iron rod in it to go and sell. That was to the extent of their poverty, the extent of their ignorance. Those who were destroying billboards, billboards not for government, billboards. You see that we have left the north. I'm saying we because if we keep saying that the north belong to the north, they will later get to a point that they will constitute serious nuisance to the other region if the whole Nigeria does not rise to take care of the northern part. Another point is that if you look at the way things are going presently, it's a pity that in Lagos, as much as we say we don't want military rule, what they are having in Lagos is not democracy, because they prevented people from demonstrating yesterday. There were threats issued in Lagos to non-Lagosians, particularly Easterners, to leave. They even threatened them that they must not come out to come and demonstrate. And those who threatened them are public figures and they are still going about. That is not the kind of Nigeria we want to hear. That is not the kind of Nigeria we pray for. That is not democracy. No, that is not democracy. Some people do it in the north. We condemn them. And it will be sycophantic of us if we refuse to point it out that some people in Lagos are beginning to tread the path, the toll that we have consistently condemned that it is wrong. They should desist from that. If you want to practice democracy, let's practice democracy. Where they come from does not matter as long as they are Nigerians. When you want to campaign, you go to the representative of the various native associations to go and promise them heaven and heart, and you are saying that they have no right to complain that they are experiencing hardship and bad governance. Then you are deviating from the principles of democracy. Now, let's talk about calling for coup. I object to that. I go against that seriously. In fact, it saddened my heart that some people can be sponsoring, because I knew that some people must have instigated them to come up with the chanting for military rule. They must have paid them or brainwashed them into doing that. That's very, very condemnable. Very, very condemnable. However, government has a lot of work to do. We must not deny, we must not live in denial that there is hardship in the land. We must not live in denial that government has a lot of work to do, because apart from giving them incentive to go on the street to go and ask for military rule, they also have personal experience of hunger and hardship, because that was the basis on which they even came out or are willing to come out at all. So as we are day 7 now, normalcy is resuming to virtually, particularly in the southwest and the south generally. Some places are still tensed in the north and they have declared curfew, relaxing it gradually. But one thing that is a take home from this protest, and which I would say has made this protest a successful one, is that when government or administration comes into power, they try to neutralize NLC to reduce the ability to mobilize people against government. They try to neutralize or buy over NANS and other civil societies. It has gotten to a point that whether they are faceless or nameless, some Nigerians can take to the streets and protest and conduct rallies without prior notice. We are so fortunate this time that we are given 1 month notice. Another one can be so sporadic and spontaneous that there will be no notice. Forget about the military, the police. They are all part of Nigerians, and their rank and file, I believe very strongly that they also know what is going on, even though they will obey the last order. My point is, government should prevent a situation where people will take to the streets to protest. Don't let Nigerians be pushed to the point of getting to the street to protest. When Nigerians or anywhere in the world, when they are already on the street protesting, lawlessness is inevitable. Look at what is happening in UK. Look at what is happening in Canada. Look at that of Bangladesh. Forget about Kenya. Look at what happened in Bangladesh. Look at what is happening. When mass movement gets to the street in protest, in agitation, lawlessness becomes inevitable. And government has a responsibility to listen to the people, to effect policies and programs that will not only make life bearable for them, but prevent situations where they become so frustrated that they get to the street. The message is passed. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, was grand commander of protesters. But if you ask me, he has not handled this protest and even this administration very well. He only dobale for democracy, but he has not really given people the dividend of democracy. His dobale means nothing to us. In struggle for democracy means nothing to Nigerians, even if as a Democrat and the number one citizen of Nigeria, he cannot ensure that Nigerians have food on their table. That is very, very important to Nigerians. Forget about statistics, forget about GDP. What is important is I put my hand in my pocket, I go to the market, I go to the store, I buy bread, I buy groundnut, I buy sugar, I buy beans, I buy grains, I can send my children to school. When you do basic things for Nigerians, Nigerians are very easy to please. They won't mind what government is doing. I believe government can sit down, review the whole thing, and let's focus on how to really move Nigeria forward so that we all can have Nigeria we can hail. I've said my own. I remain Rotimi Johnson Ojasope.